After being closed to the rest of the world for 3 years, China is set to reopen its borders this weekend. Joining us live now is Margy Osmond, the CEO of the Tourism and Transport Forum. Margy, thanks so much for your time this morning. What sort
My
of
pleasure.
demand do you expect there to be in terms of Australians heading over to China?
Well, look, we're hopeful it's going to be very strong, and for a whole lot of reasons, not the least of which is one of the biggest global trends post-pandemic is people's deep desire to get out in the great outdoors and wide open spaces and beautiful landscapes. There's no doubt that Australia has that in overabundance. And also, we've always had a very strong relationship with our Chinese visitors. So we're hoping that's going to be right up there as reasons why they come, and that things like the testing procedures that have been put in place and the incredibly competitive nature of the global market doesn't slow that recovery process too much.
Do you think the test will just be a minor barrier and we will see China opening up make a really significant impact on the Australian travel sector?
We're certainly hoping that's the case, and remembering that China was the biggest slice of the Australian international market before the pandemic, and not just on numbers but on spend. They're very generous visitors when they come, the Chinese, and spend very well. And as I say, we think there's going to be some serious pluses out of those changed travellers for regional communities in particular. Certainly, at least on the basis of what we've been hearing in the last day or so from people coming in from China, they're not too worried about the testing mechanism at this point in time. Having said that, though, we'd still like to hope that that's as temporary as it can possibly be.
What about on the tourism industry as a whole? Will China opening up bring, I suppose, more competition globally? Will we see prices for airlines, for tickets come down? What kind of impact will we see?
Well, most importantly, for us here in Australia, we've had a massive surge in our domestic market, and that's been a godsend. It's been wonderful. And in many cases, it's been stronger than it was before the pandemic. But we have to be realistic about what the impact of cost of living concerns are going to be. And certainly in our surveying at the moment nationally, we're starting to get a sensation with over 58% of people telling us that they may change their travel plans because of cost of living. We really need that upsurge in international visitors to fill the gap that may be left by some of those domestic travellers stepping back. In terms of airfares, etc., what will make the biggest difference there is more capacity. So we need more international carriers coming in and out of Australia again. That's a bit of a slow process. Most of the eastern state governments have now got aviation reattraction funds, and they're working very hard at it. But it'll take some time, and that's going to be the big contributing factor, that and the cost of aviation fuel.